Welcome back to another vlog, Life in Sweden, here with me, Shalika Marker. I am an Asian or Sri Lankan, if you will, lived here in Sweden for 15 years, and on my channel you will find videos all about our life here. So today's vlog, we're starting with a drive on our way to work. Believe it or not, it is 7 o'clock in the morning. It is really bright sunshine, winter time. It's dark, gloomy, and almost black at this time of the day. But springtime obviously gives us a lot more sunshine and light. So we are very, very grateful that my husband drives us to work every day. It does take him a small detour, but my kids' school and my work is very close to each other. So he drops us off there and then he heads on over to work. Now, don't be fooled by the bright sunshine and light. It is quite chilly for this time of the year. And I just want to preface that if my husband did not drop us off, Swedish transport is just excellent. So we do have a bus that takes us just literally 10 minutes. And that's exactly the bus you're seeing now, that little red bus that went past. What timing. But it takes me 10 minutes from where it picks us up right there at Ica Maxi, behind Ica Maxi, to my school. It takes me about 15 minutes because it takes about 15 minutes to get there and then another 5 minutes. So in 20 minutes, I could be at work. But it is a luxury that my husband drops us off. But as you can see, people are cycling to work now. Springtime, a lot more people cycle. During the winter, there are people who cycle all year round, the really avid cyclists. So hats off to them. But during the springtime, a lot more people start cycling and walking to work, obviously keeping the carbon print down a lot more. These are some bundles of Fika bread. So at Ica Maxi, the night before, if they haven't sold any, they put them into these sort of bundles and they're selling them for 30 crowns. So there were 4 Fika bread, bullar, like we say in Sweden, for 30 crowns. Now, each of them is usually 15 crowns. So it really is a pretty good deal. But if you didn't want to buy old ones from last night, you've got some fresh ones here. You can pick up a cup of coffee, which is what I did. I didn't pick up any Fika bread. It's not the healthiest of breakfasts, but it is a sort of cultural thing here in Sweden. So I'm waiting here for the bus this morning. The kids are waiting downstairs by the bus stand. I just wanted to go and pick up a coffee, but I wanted to show you. So this is Ica Maxi, where all the cashiers are, and right opposite the cashiers, you've got this restaurant. It's a restaurant slash cafe. It does belong to Ica, so this entire building or this floor belongs to Ica, and they've got a cafe. You can get pizza and some very simple food here, but it's really nice. It's very popular. It's popular to come and have a fika here. So it used to be a sort of warehouse for them, and obviously they've turned it into a restaurant. As you can see, it's early morning. Cleaners are out doing all of the cleaning, but let's take our coffee and go downstairs. So I wanted to show you the sun is shining again today. It is the next day. We decided to take the bus to work, and it's blue skies, but it is a little bit chilly for this time of year. But that doesn't mean that the restaurants in the local area have not started thinking about alfresco dining. So as you can see, these stands, or I would probably like a stage and planks, are all collected here on the side. As you can see off the road, you can see the cars are going past, so it is very close to where the cars are. We don't have a lot of room for alfresco dining in this area, but the restaurants make do. So this is an Asian restaurant, and right next to it is a Greek restaurant. We've had this restaurant actually here for as long as we've been here, so around 10 years. It's very popular. These are the boards. They open them out and they line them up over there, and then they have a really very lovely place you can sit down and have your alfresco dining. Now, I will film it once they've set all of it up, but for now I just wanted to show you that they were actually starting to set up, and we are towards the beginning. It is the beginning of May. So a couple of days later, I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about slow living here in Sweden and take you to look at something that I've been admiring for the better part of the spring months. So slow living in Sweden really for me means that you take the time to walk, to be in nature. So during my lunch breaks at work, we've got really nice fields and nature and forest around. So I've been walking past this house and looking at this tree. It is just gorgeous. During the winter months, it's just very, very ugly, to be very honest. It looks like a sort of scary horror movie tree. But in the springtime, it's just to die for. It is a birch tree, a short stunted birch tree, as you saw from underneath. But the branches just cascade over the bark and just drapes over with all of this green lush leaves. It's just so stunning, so beautiful. It's amazing to see, and I really wanted to film it because it is part of a tiny little garden that is attached to a townhouse, which is unbelievable. It looks like it should be in a really big villa type house. The beautiful lilac flowers are also in bloom, which I'm really excited about, which really means the spring is in the air. Slow living in Sweden continues for me on the weekends. Most families take it really easy on the weekends. The kids do have a lot of activities, but I think for the most part, we like to really lean into the sort of slow living during the weekends here in Sweden. Now, I come from Sri Lanka, so my house can become like Grand Central Station some weekends, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But for most people here in Sweden, family time on the weekends is really, really important. And to me, slow living for my life means that I take some time on a Saturday morning just to have a cup of coffee, gather my thoughts, reflect over the week that's passed, and really take a little bit of me time. Now, this Saturday, we just took it easy. My eldest son was off to Scouts, you will see in a minute, but I just opened the blinds after my coffee, and then it was time to get on with the rest of the day. So as you can see, the new furniture arrived a couple of weeks ago. The old table's still there. We're unsure exactly what we're going to do with it. We are going to give it away to some friends. But the new table, I absolutely love it. And the chairs, it looks really, really great. But it's been raining a lot, so my husband hasn't had time to oil it, and I really haven't done any sort of decorating on the back deck, which I will do. But as you can see, we've packed my son's bag for Scouts. They are going on a Scouts hike and going camping. So he's got his plates and his forks and knives and his drinking mug, everything all packed. He's got a sleeping bag. He's got all of his clothes. So he's got one bag here. The poor guy is going to have to carry this. I'm not sure he's going to make it, but anyway, he's got all of his stuff here, and then my husband has his own bag. So these are the water bottles. I need to fill them up and put it in for them. My husband's got this one. So we do have a sort of, they call it ligg underlag. It's like a lying mat, but it's a very soft mat. So you have that first, and then you put your sleeping bag on, so it is a lot more comfortable. So that's my husband's, and I'm sending them off with a really traditional Swedish breakfast. It's called äggmackor. You have it with caviar at the bottom and egg, or actually the caviar on top. This caviar comes in a tube like this. They're very popular in Sweden. It is not your usual caviar, but it's definitely something that the Swedes have on a regular basis. So now it's that time in the vlog that we do a little bit of cooking, and today we're going to do some baking. So I'm baking Silvia kakor, which means Silvia cake. We have a queen here in Sweden. If any of you didn't know, we have a king and queen, and the queen's name is Silvia. I don't think the cake was named after her, but this is called Silvia kakor. So basically it's just eggs and sugar whipped up really, really fluffy. Then you want to fold in your dry ingredients and 2 deciliters of hot water, and then you mix it all up, and then you bake in 175-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean. So once the cake is done, you want to make your glaze, or while the cake is in the oven, if you want to save time. So you're going to need egg yolks and butter and icing sugar, and I did make this with normal granulated sugar, so you could do that as well. I've got some egg whites, which I will use to make some meringues a little later on. So you want to melt your butter and add in your sugar, give everything a mix. Then you want to move it away from the heat and add in your eggs. So as you can see, the cake is done. It's come out of the oven. Now this version or this recipe was really good. The cake was higher, so if you want a sort of cake kind of recipe, cake like recipe, you want to make this one. But I'll also have the Ica recipe in the description box below, and that one used a larger tray. So if you use a larger tray, you're going to get almost like Silvia cake bars, which were also really nice. So once the cake was done and cooled, and the icing was also cooled and thickened, I just poured everything over and evenly distributed. So once I had all of that done, it was time to do the last bit of garnishing, which is a little bit of desiccated coconut. It really is nice with the coconut because it really gives you sort of a little crunchy layer on top. It's up to you how much coconut you like to use. We love to use coconut in baking here in Sweden. It is a very popular ingredient. So I hope you give this recipe a try. If you do, let me know what you think in the description box below next time. But thank you so much for joining me on this Life in Sweden vlog. I hope you find these vlogs interesting, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment so I know to continue making vlogs like this. And if you've got any questions or want to ask me anything, feel free to leave it in the description box below, and I will do my best to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.